Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently 11:52 p.m. on this late Sunday evening. Very relaxed and chill and serene evening. Going into Monday. A fresh week. And I feel so calm and chill and serene right now. Probably because of this water that I'm drinking. I just dropped off Tanya Jean. I picked her up and we went and got water at the gas station. Then we drove around and caught up for a little bit. And I got this smart water that is called Tranquility. It must be why I feel filled with so much serenity tonight. But it's pretty good. It says that it's infused with tangerine in here, but I probably would have guessed cucumber. I guess it does kind of smell a little citrusy. But anyway. So yeah, it was good seeing Tanya G, and it was fun seeing her. And we just drove around for a little bit. She was really tired. They got back earlier today, like this morning. They left like super early from Florida. So, I think she was back by like 11 or something, and then she went to the kennel and did some work and stuff, and then she took a nap this afternoon, and she just was really tired and relaxed, and so she's getting ready for her week ahead too. So we just kind of caught up, and she was telling me about the stuff that they did and the meals they had, and our conversations are real exciting, let me tell you. So, what did you have at this place? What did you eat here? What did you eat there? She was telling me that, because they did some fishing in the Keys the first weekend, and she was telling me that she saw some dolphins, and she was telling me that they were close enough that she could have reached over and touched them. And then she told me that she saw a manatee. She said it was bigger than I thought they were. And so anyway, it was so good seeing her. And yeah, that was it. It was funny because I pulled up into her driveway afterwards, and we just kind of sat there in the car and talked for like another half an hour. It reminded me of like when you drop your friends off when you're in high school, you know, and you don't want to get out of your car. Like your mom keeps on looking at the window, and you're like, oh, my mom keeps on looking out the window. And then you go inside, and your mom's like, you guys sat in the driveway for a long time talking. What were you talking about? Like you're going to go inside, you know, and tell your mom what you're talking about. Gossip, you know. Or just, it's so funny the conversations you have back then, you know, like just weird conversations about where you'll be. And we used to talk a lot about that, it seems like, when I was in high school. Like my friends and I, we would talk a lot about where we would be when we were 30 or where we would be when we were 40, you know. And kind of what's so crazy about that is that I am not like anywhere that I thought that I would be. And not in like a negative way, but just like my life doesn't look like how I thought it would. I really don't know if I have really no idea what I thought my life would look like. And that was part of it for me, was that I was kind of so scared of like my future because I didn't have any like, you know, concrete future in place. But I didn't really know, like, I mean, I didn't know like what I was going to do at school or what I wanted to study or where I was going to go. I was like so scared of all of it that I think that that was part of it, you know. But all of us said that we were going to get out of here. A couple of us didn't. So, a couple of us did and a couple of us didn't. And I'm one of them that didn't. Not yet, at least. I like Indianapolis, though. So anyway, yeah, it was great seeing Tanya. It's funny because sometimes, like, when she goes on a trip, like, I'll have a trip, like, planned right after that, and they kind of, like, we'll only get to have, like, 2 days together. And so, Alex and I are going on a little small couples trip just for the weekend, this weekend, to Florida. And, so Tanya came home, and now, like, I'm gonna get to see her for a couple days, and then we're turning around and we're going to Florida. But it's a really short trip. We're just going for a couple days. And, well, it was supposed to be with 2 other couples, So the whole thing kind of came out of this friend of Alex's that he married in the fall. I don't know if you guys remember that, but he officiated their wedding. So he's known her since high school. She's been like one of his closest friends. And he knows her sister and her whole family, and they're very close. So anyway, and I've known her for the almost 12 and a half years that we've been together. Almost 13 years we've been together, 12 and a half years. But anyway, God, it seems crazy that we've been together 12 and a half years. So she and her husband have been wanting to do like a little weekend getaway. And there's another couple that we're friends with that we go and do stuff with every once in a while. And they were just like, I guess like Alex and the two wives were out to dinner one night, and like the wife from each couple, and they were just kind of like throwing around the idea like we should do this couples trip and just go away for like, a couple nights. And so that's how it got planned. And now the one husband can't go because he had like a prior engagement earlier this month. And so he was like, well, I don't want to be away that much. So it's just Alex and I, the couple that got married, and then the wife from the other couple. And we rented an Airbnb, and it'll be fun. It's going to be really low key, just like, hang out by the pool. And then we've got dinner plans one night. And that's really it. But that'll be nice. A little, romantic weekend for Alex and I, which will be fun. And, get dressed up and look nice and look cute and stuff like that. So, spend some time with each other. I'm excited about it. And, yeah. So, but it's funny because, like Tanya's been gone now for like almost 10 days. And then she comes back into town, and I only get to see her for a couple, nights. And then it's like I'm out of town. And so anyway, but got up today. We went to brunch, and I actually did not have the gluten-free waffle today. I was like really in the mood for an omelet. So there's an omelet there that they have that's called the California Dreamer, and oh my God, I love it so much. And it has like jalapenos and green peppers in it. It's like really spicy, but it's made with like some kind of white cheese. It's so good. And then they put like this, they didn't put the pesto sauce on it today. But I put like sour cream over it. It's so good. And then I got it with, it's like super, super spicy, especially if you bite into like one of the hot peppers. The hot peppers are really hot. Yeah, I'm gonna say maybe it doesn't have jalapenos, but I'm almost positive that it does. And then, what else does it have in it, though? I don't really even know. Cheese. Not a whole lot else. And then, I had crispy potatoes, which were delicious. And then I had everything bagel toasted with cream cheese, and it was so good. And then I had coffee, and the coffee today was, the coffee today was macadamia nut. And when she came to the table, our waitress, who we were like real good friends with, she was like, the coffee today is macadamia nut. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. She goes, I knew you would be. And I was like, yeah, so. And then Alex had a bowl of the tomato artichoke soup, and she brought him a ton of croutons. So they make their own croutons. It's like, it looks like garlic bread that's like cut up into little pieces. Not little, but like each crouton's like that big. And so they bring him like a bowl of soup that's like that big, and then they bring a bowl of croutons that's like that big as well. And then he had coffee as well. Oh, I had a large orange juice as well, which was delicious. So yeah, so we went to brunch, and then afterwards, he just wanted to kind of hang out and relax. So I came home, and did I start uploading my vlog then? No, I think later. So he helped me load the glider into my car, and then I took the glider over to my friend's house. And I sat on the glider on her front porch for a couple minutes, which was cute. And she's like right on the main strip, and it just makes me so happy. Like my mom, she sat down with me for a second. We were just like sitting there, and I just was like, this would make my mom so happy to know somebody was enjoying this out here, you know? So, yeah, there's that. And, then I thought, like, it was so weird when I was coming home, because, like, I always have, like, such weird attachment issues to things. Person has these two ferns hanging that look so pretty. I was like, don't you dare even be silly and be, like, sad about getting rid of this glider. But I wasn't sad about it at all. I really wasn't. I was like, okay, one less thing in our house. But it had meant something to me, and I had a great time on that glider, you know. So, but now our front porch looks nice with just the 2 chairs on it and stuff. And then I went to Target because I wanted to get some new nail polish, which I brought home, and I was showing Alex. And while I was showing Alex, I painted my thumbnail. Can you see? It's supposed to be navy blue. My nail polish technique, or my skills of painting nail polish, are horrible. So I didn't do a very good job at this at all. Can you see? It's bad. I just did my thumb. But anyway, it's kind of fun. So, and it was funny because Alex had bought these games for when we were, like, sitting by the pool or, like, at the Airbnb and stuff. This is like a real chill weekend. Like, we're gonna do dinners maybe in the evening, make a few dinners at home, or make a dinner at home and then go out one night, and that's about it, and then we're back. So, he got, like, these games so that while we're just, like, hanging around talking and stuff, and so we got these, like, trivia games. They're literally just, they come in like a box, like this big. They're really cool, and he bought, like, 4 of them, and one is 4 different kinds of trivia. It's like culture, food and drinks. It's like Trivial Pursuit, but it's just a box, right? And then it's like athletics or sports, and then it's like pop culture. And then the other box was 90s music. And then the other box was, it's called like Sing Along or something. You, like, the person reading the card, like, says the first line, and then you have to give them the next line of the song, and then you have to say who it's by. That one's actually really hard. And then the 3rd one, or the 5th one, was athletics. I was like, why did you even buy the sports one? And I said, you know, I'm not going to be any good at that one. So anyway, he's like, you got the one about tennis or something. Like, no, the tennis one wasn't the one I got. I got one of the athletic ones. But anyway, it was so funny because when we were doing it, Alex is real competitive. And he goes, you're definitely going to be on my team. And I said, babe, I said, you know that I'm good at trivia. Like, I have the most amount of useless knowledge about just crap. And I said, plus, I said, my mom and I, when I was growing up, one of my favorite games was Trivial Pursuit. My mom and I played Trivial Pursuit all the time. And I had the silver screen edition about movies and all this kind of stuff. And it was funny because this one card was the pop culture. There's one whole game, I think, it's just pop culture. And it said something about, I won the Pulitzer Prize in 1962. And then it said I was born in Salinas Valley, California. And I said, John Steinbeck. And he goes, he just looked at me and goes, how do you know that? And I go, what do you mean, how do I know that? I don't know. Salinas Valley, California, probably Grapes of Wrath in 1962. You know, I don't know. But anyway, it was fun. So we sat there for like an hour and he read me cards and I did the trivia while I was painting my nail. It was really fun. Although this nail polish is this kind that dries in 60 seconds. Okay, and I didn't get the gel type this kind, or the gel kind this time. And actually, Target has a new brand. I don't know what it's called, but it's really pretty. The containers are really pretty. They're like these like round containers that look like real small deodorant, but they're not. It's nail polish. And I got like a blue, and then I got a white, and I got a top coat, and I got something else. I kind of really wanted to buy this Crackle nail polish, but I haven't been able to see it anywhere. I found it online, but somebody had recommended it to me on my video that I did on my Peter Does Stuff channel, and I was saying something to Tanya about it, and she was like, oh, I remember that Crackle stuff. And I said, yeah, it's from like a couple years ago, right? She goes, oh, more than a couple years ago. I said, really? I said, well, I still want some. So then what did I do after that? I was at Target for a while. I drove around and just listened to my audiobook. Like, oh my God, this book is so good, you guys. Oh, so good. Central Park. If you're reading it for Peter's Book Club, it is so, 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 so good. I went into this whole thing talking about my friend, and I said her first and last name like right at the beginning, and I didn't even realize it, and how I was talking to her about this book, Central Park. So anyway, Central Park is really, really good, and you still have time to read it. Not many days, but a couple days. It is Peter's book club choice for April. And like I said last night, like the dialogue is not great. I wouldn't say it's the worst in the world. I probably would reserve that for 50 Shades of Grey. But the thing is that it being a thriller so like outweighs the dialogue that you don't even care. Like, it's such a great thriller, and it really is. Like, you have no idea what's going to happen in like every turn of the book, and it takes place in real time too, which is really cool, because as you're reading it or listening to it like I am on Audible, you feel like you're living it with them. It very much reminds me kind of like the Da Vinci Code. So, and I don't know what I'm going to read after this, and I actually have to pick May's book for Peter's book club, so I don't know what I'm going to pick yet for that. I have a couple ideas of what I might read. There's this book that I've been wanting to read for a while called Mexican Gothic, and it got really, really good reviews, and it's supposed to be kind of like the scary book that takes place in like 1950s in Mexico. And it's supposed to be really fantastic. So I might pick that book. I might pick The Life and Death of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. That book, I already have both of these on Audible as well. That book is getting like a lot of attention, and it's getting really great reviews. And every time I mention it in a video, people are like, yes, do that one. Yes, do that one. It's such a great book. So I might do that. I try to kind of pick books that are a little, I try to pick books that are a little less known, you know, that aren't necessarily like New York Times bestsellers, and bring some attention to like an author that maybe, you know, isn't as well known. I actually downloaded 3 books today, and one of them was a pre-order. I didn't know it was a pre-order. It comes out May 11th, and I actually thought about maybe using that as well as the book club book for May. And that is a book that is called People We Meet on Vacation. And it's by, I think, Julia Whalen. And I feel like it's kind of like a romantic comedy, whatever, I don't know. She also wrote a book called Beach Reads, I think. And it's about this guy and girl, this man and woman that are like writers. She's a romance writer. She writes romances, and he writes literary fiction, and they meet on vacation, and for 30 days or something, they agree to act like they're a couple or something like that. So I downloaded that, because every once in a while, I kind of like that kind of stuff. Like in 5 years, I liked that book. And her first book is getting like really great reviews, and so I pre-ordered the second book. And then I can't remember what the third book was that I bought. Oh, the third book that I bought was actually a Janet DeLeon book, because I'm so ready to get back into cozy mysteries, and I'm so ready to read a misfortune book, and I don't know when she's going to have the next one. She has the 19th book out, and the 20th one she sent to the editor, so I don't know when she's going to have the 19th book on Audible, but I really want to listen to it by Cassandra Campbell narrating it, so I'm waiting. So I don't know when that will be, but and I'm okay to wait. So I went in and I looked at one of her other series, because I just love her writing so much, and she has one called Something Over 40. It's about a woman that used to, like, these people come to her. She lives in a small town. She's going through like a divorce or whatever. And basically she was like a goddess from another time period or something. I don't know. I have that one, Something Over 40. I can't remember. I have that one downloaded already on Audible. Then the one I bought tonight was like Trouble and Mudbug or something like that. It's a completely other series that she has, and it's about this woman whose mother-in-law that she doesn't get along with dies, and she comes back, and she's like a ghost, and she's like helping her like solve murders or something. I don't know, but just something. I need to read a cozy mystery. And I've downloaded so many books lately. I have just really gotten back into enjoying like listening to audiobooks. I mean, I have this whole year, but there was like a period where some book I read, they just threw up that house. Like, I swear to God, oh no, maybe not. Maybe they just cut down some trees and I didn't know it was there. But some book that I read, it took me like maybe it was People Who Eat Darkness. It took me like a week to read, and I felt like I was really slow reading this book. I can't remember which book it was. So I feel like I'm back kind of like into the reading deal again, you know, which is good. And it's supposed to be like May, the weather in May in Indianapolis is supposed to be really, really nice. And so when we get back, I'll be able to like just, you know, start sitting outside reading, which I'm really excited about. It's supposed to be 82 on Tuesday. I can't even believe it. And tomorrow's supposed to be nice too. Today was actually really nice. So yeah, I'm excited about all these books that I'm reading. I always get so excited about books. And I downloaded another movie I bought on iTunes. I bought Sorry, Wrong Number, which was one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid with Barbara Stanwyck. And I was like, I'm trying to think of like, I have these lists of movies. I should read them to you guys. You guys would think they're funny. I have these lists of movies like in my phone and the notes. I have like a list of movies I don't remember seeing or I've never seen before that I want to watch, and then I have a list of movies that like I want to watch again, and then I just have like a random list of movies where I've just written stuff down. And so I'm like going in there and trying to rewatch this stuff. I have movies on there like to watch again, like Cocoon. I don't know why I'm just thinking this now. Raiders of the Lost Ark. I haven't seen that movie in forever. I kind of like to watch that again. Like the series of it. They're really good. And I want to finish Star Wars. I think that's going to be my goal this summer, is to finish Star Wars and to watch the Godfather movies, which I know like about 3 of you out there just gasped and went, Peter's never seen I've never seen the Godfather movies. Peter's never seen the Godfather movies. No, I've never seen the Godfather movies. I think I've seen like bits and pieces of them. So this summer, well, I've got to finish those damn Harry Potter books too. I wasn't going to because J.K. Rowling is so problematic, but I'm like, I've invested myself in 4 books. All I have to do is finish 3 books to finish a series. So I think that my like pop culture goals for the summer are that I would like to, I think what I'm going to do, I was like reading a book and watching a movie. I think what I'm going to do is finish the Harry Potter books, go in, I'll do June, July, August, and I'll just like read 1 book a month. And then I'll go in after I have finished them, and maybe in September, like watch all 7 of the movies is what I'll do. I don't know, I might change that. Maybe I'll watch it here and there. I've watched the first one now so many times, I feel like I know it by heart. You know, I used to put it on just in the background. I love the music from the Harry Potter movies. But I want to finish the Harry Potter books, and I want to watch the movies. And then I want to watch all the Star Wars movies. And then I want to watch Godfather. Those are my 3 pop culture goals for the summer. And then I'll feel like I've caught up with the rest of the world. I mean, not really, but... Do you guys have goals like that? Like shows or something that you want to see? Actually, I saw somebody tweet this out tonight. I think they tweeted it I think it was to me, actually, so thank you. For a video that I'm going to do, an opinions video. She said she had just binge watched all the Grey's Anatomy seasons. And you know, that is one of my husband's favorite shows of life, is Grey's Anatomy. And I thought, that's actually something that I could do, is I could binge watch Grey's Anatomy. Okay, here's a question for you. Grey's Anatomy or Game of Thrones? If I was going to start one, and I know you guys are like, what? I haven't watched Game of Thrones, and I haven't watched Grey's Anatomy. If I was going to start one and binge it, which one should I watch? Grey's Anatomy or Game of Thrones? It's up to you. YouTube, you can't put polls on YouTube anymore, but if I could put up polls, I would do that. Oh, maybe that will be my lunchroom poll for tomorrow. Although I said I was going to turn that into a video, so. Well, I'll have another lunchroom poll. Oh, dream, 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 dream. I like looked over this business and I was like, and it looked like another word, the name of the business, and I was like, that doesn't even make any sense. Why would somebody call it was just one word, and it was like, why would somebody call, it's not like it matters, you guys don't know who these people are, and I don't know who they are either. It said Shrout, S-H-R-O-U-T, and I thought when I looked over there, I said, does it say shout? And then I thought, does it say sprout? And then I thought, why would they call it Shrout? That's stupid. It's probably somebody's name, don't you think? I mean, it's probably their business. Oh well, that's probably why you called it their business, right? I'm so silly. It's such a nice night out. I'm not gonna vlog for a long time tonight. I think sometimes, well, I will say this, I haven't gotten like tons of comments, but I've gotten a few comments about it, and I think I got, well, anyway, that people really prefer the nighttime vlogs to the daytime vlogs. So I'm really gonna try to do the vlogs at night going forward. I enjoy doing them at night too, you know, and I know that it seems like I get distracted and people get distracted by what's going on in the backgrounds and all that kind of stuff. And I totally understand that. It's more enjoyable for me to do at night. It's more relaxing to me just to kind of talk and be like, oh, whatever. So, and the other thing is that, like, if I do one that's like an hour to an hour and a half, then like the next one will probably be shorter. I'm gonna kind of like go up and down, because it seems like that way then people can like kind of catch up or something. Unless I'm just like really feeling it, and then I'm like, I really feel like doing a long vlog tonight, then I'll do a long vlog tonight, you know? And this summer there will be a 3-hour vlog. Since I did that last summer, I'm gonna recreate that, I think, every summer going forward. So I thought that would be fun, you know? But anyway. Yeah, this won't be long tonight because I want to listen to this audiobook. I'd really like to finish it tonight so that I can, well, start something else, because I'm excited to start something else. I'm like in that, like, that's where I'm at though with the book stuff that's like bad. Like, I'll be in it and I'll be like, this is so good. And then I'll be like, but what am I going to start next? You know, I get really excited. So I don't know what I'm going to start next. Don't think about it. My mom used to read like so many books at the same time. I was actually, who was I talking to? I was talking to Karen. Hey Karen, how are you? And she said she has like at any given time a couple books going. My mom used to do the same thing. I don't know how she did it. Because it would be one thing if she would read like, you know, a nonfiction book, like a biography or, you know, something like that. But then she would also have like a fiction book going, or like a book that, another nonfiction book. But my mom, towards the end of her life, really liked a lot of nonfiction. Or it would be like a nonfiction book that really didn't have, it wasn't like you had to follow a storyline, you know, it was more of like informational kind of stuff. And then she'd have like a fiction piece. So she'd have like 2 or 3 books going at the same time. I never understood how she did that. The other thing is that she would go to like the bookstore and she would sit there and like read part of a book while she was sitting in the bookstore. And I'm like, I get too distracted at the bookstore. I'm like, what is going on? There's people all around me, you know, and I get real distracted. I don't know how people do that at the bookstore. Like how people come and study and stuff at the bookstore. I don't really get that at all, but if it works for you, I guess it works for you. But I can remember going to my mom's house. My mom really liked nice bookmarks. And so I just actually found the ones that she had given me the other day through the years. My mom would, like, for my birthday or for Christmas, would always give me like a nice like pewter bookmark. I should actually do a video on that. I know that's so exciting, but maybe on my BookTube channel I could show my like the bookmarks that my mom had given me. That would be kind of a cool video to do. So anyway, she had some really, really nice bookmarks, and she'd always try to give me something special, you know. And And she had them in a lot of her older books too, because my mom, like, she collected like antique books. None of them were worth anything, trust me. I wish they were, but they aren't. But she collected all these antique looking books, you know, and had them in her bookshelves and stuff like that. And then, like, in some of them she would have like her favorite poem or whatever, you know, like she would have it marked with like one of those like pewter bookmarks or silver bookmark or something like that. So when you were standing there and you were looking at her, and she had some of the books like displayed on like a little thing, her bookshelves always look so nice. Mine are kind of a mess, and I don't really care. Alex actually reorganized them the last time, and I like came home and he's like, I reorganized all your books for you, and I was like, and I totally just had to let it go. If you are a bookish person, you will know, don't touch my system, okay? I had a system to it, and I know Alex didn't know my system, but like, I came home and I was like, he was like, well, I made them really nice for you so that they all fit on. I was like, I had a system. And he was like, I could tell, he was like, I was like, oh, thanks, babe. And he was like, were they in some kind of order? And I go, yeah. I go, don't worry about it. And I've left them. I've just been like, you know what? This is a good way for me to practice not having to have control in my life and just going with the flow. So I have just let those books sit the way that they are. And you know what? When I've gone to look for a book, I have found it just fine. So, no problems. No problems whatsoever. He took out a bunch of books that he didn't want anymore because he had some of his books in there as well. And then I need to go through my bookshelf because there are so many books in there. Well, first of all, a lot of books that I have read and kept are not like favorite books of mine. So there's no, like, the top shelf is like books that mean a lot to me. I have like Dumplin' that Tanya gave me. I have my book that I wrote, the paperback and the hardback version of it. I have Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee. I have, what else do I have up there? Some recovery texts, things like that. But other than that, the stuff is like the right-hand side of my bookshelves are things that I have never read. Well, I should say they used to be things that I had never read. So anyway, but there's so many books on there that I've never read because when I started BookTube, I was doing book hauls constantly, and I just was constantly at the bookstore buying books, and I don't do that anymore. I'm just like, I actually, for BookTube-a-thon this year, I should go in there, what do they call it, the Reading Rush? I should go in there and pick all books that I bought years ago and haven't read. That's what I should do for the Reading Rush. But anyway, yeah, books that I've read and I put back on my bookshelf, I should just take out of there and I should like donate them or give them to like half-price books because I'm not going to read them again. I mean, I'm just not. Now that top row of those books that mean something to me, that's different. But the rest of them, like, I'm not going to read them again. So I used to feel like, I mean, so if I had a house that I had tons of bookshelves, I would keep all those books. There's no reason not to. And then when a friend is like, oh, I really wanted to read, I'm like, hey, you know what? I have it here. Let me give it to you. Because I love to do that with friends, is give them books. You know, that they're like, oh, I'm looking for it. And I'm like, here it is. Let me give it to you. Don't worry about it. Don't return it. But then I have all of these books stacked in like cabinets. Where our TV is, underneath that cabinet is all books. Underneath this sink, that like our bar sink that we have, like in like kind of by our living room, dining room area. Well, not dining room, it's where our dining room table is, but that's where we work. I have my computer stuff and he has his. That underneath the sink, all books. I have all these areas that are all books that need to probably be on the bookshelves. So I'm like, I need to go through there and get rid of books that I'm A, never going to read, or B, that I read and I don't want anymore. And that's what I need to do. That's another project. All these projects. Do you ever feel like you have all these projects that you don't want to do? Like the basement obviously is mine, and you know, whatever. And it's just like, well, we've decided that the basement is the first thing that we're going to redo. So, you know what I have to say? I don't understand why some people get all up in arms about the fact that we have been talking about redoing our house forever. And like, don't you know people like that? I feel like that's kind of like the real world. I feel like a lot of my friends are like, yeah, we're gonna put a patio into the house, and they've been saying it for 6 years. I mean, I don't come to their house and go, you're a horrible person. You've been saying for 6 years that you were going to put a patio on. You haven't put a patio on. You have no follow through with anything. I'm just like, oh, they haven't put up a patio yet. So, but we have decided that when we start redoing the house, whenever that shall be, it could be, I don't know, 6 months from now, it could be 10 years from now, that we are going to do the basement first so that we have that finished. Like I talked about that on here. So I've got to clean out that basement so that we can do that. It's so weird because I drove by here. Do you remember this? Well, you're like, no, we have no idea where you're at. I drove by here the other day, during the day when I was vlogging, going to get candles. And I said, oh, who owns these, like, you know, these fields out here, these farmers? I wonder who owns these farmers. And now I'm like driving out here during the night, and it's like pitch black out there. And I'm like, God, it's so dark. I'd be scared to be out there by myself. Oh, there are little farmhouses out here. I don't know what I think about that. I cannot drive by a storage unit. Like, this is called Hamilton Center Storage. And it's this huge storage unit. You have to go in through like a gate, and then they have like the things. I cannot go in there without thinking about serial killers. Like, serial killers always keep their stuff in storage units. It's just the truth, okay? Silence of the Lambs. We saw it in that movie. There was something that I watched not too long ago. Was it Hell in the Heartland? No, it wasn't Hell in the Heartland. But what was it? I was watching some true crime documentary, and somebody kept all their stuff in the what do you call it? In the storage shed. And then there was something else. Oh, it was a misfortune book. They had to go to the storage shed. Then there was somewhere else, some other book that I was reading that was about serial killers or something. And the serial killer kept a bunch of his stuff in what do you call it? In the storage unit. I wouldn't trust nobody that has a storage unit. I'd be like, you want to come over to my house? Do you have a storage unit? Oh, you do? Well, you're not coming to my house for dinner. I'm sorry. I have to see that storage unit first. What's so crazy about that is, like, half the people that I know have storage units. I ate brunch, and I haven't had anything since then. And I had half my bagel I brought home with me. And, oh, did I take it in? Oh, yeah, I did take it in. I put it in the refrigerator. Do you ever do that? Do you ever take home food and then leave it in your car, and then you feel like you just, like, wasted so much money when you probably wouldn't have taken it home anyway? But thank God I did. But I was so worried about that bagel that I took it home with me. But I ate brunch at like 3-something. What's that place called now? Ford's Garage. That used to be that Moe's place Alex used to go for St. Patrick's Day. I came like 1 year and told that story on here. And I realized I did not need to go ever again to that. But we used to go there for karaoke as well. What was I going to say? But now it's called Ford's Garage or something, I guess. Anyway, I don't even know what I was talking about now. I've lost my mind. Wiggle your toes and you'll remember. I was like, something I was driving by. Serial killers having storage units. Half my friends have storage units. What was I saying when I was driving by there? I saw that Ford's place. Whatever it's called. I don't know what I was talking about. It doesn't matter. It obviously was so important, wasn't it? It's funny because I was talking to Susie the other day, and she was like, somehow we got on the conversation of like what my mom would have been like during all this COVID stuff, of which she would have been totally panicked the entire time. I don't really know how she would be, honestly. Like, I think she would have been very vocal about, like, just how her feelings were about stuff. And I don't know how, Caroline and I talk about it a lot, like, regards to my aunt and stuff, too, you know, because my aunt was on oxygen at the end, and she could, you know, I mean, it was really hard for her to go from place to place, and, because she had lung disease. But my aunt was never like an outwardly fearful person, so I don't know. It's so pretty out tonight. Like, it's not like starry night, like it's cloudy. But it's just like, earlier I was like, is it a full moon out? Like when I was walking out to my car to go get Tanya Jean, I was like, is it cloudy out? Or is it a full moon out? It doesn't look like it is. It looks like it will be tomorrow or the next night, or it was, I don't know. But it was a pretty moon. I can't see it now. I think it's like right over me. And, but the sky is pretty. It's like wispy clouds. It's very still outside. I was talking to my neighbor across the street today. He was grilling out in his yard, or in his driveway. He has one of those egg things. I was like, what are you making for dinner tonight? And he said, I'm making Cornish game hens. And I said, oh, okay. I don't obviously eat meat, but I just try to be friendly. I don't need to get into that conversation with my, you know. Well, I think my other neighbors know, but I said, well, that sounds good. And it doesn't, but anyway, he said, well, let's hope so. Our neighborhood is such that neighborhood. Well, first of all, our streets are real narrow, so like you literally can stand in each other's driveways and kind of talk to each other across the way. But like the five of us, it's, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's like the 5 of us now that are like on this like corner. We're like so friendly to each other that it's like at one point we'll all be standing out there in our driveways and yards talking and stuff. It's funny. My one neighbor, Laura, she and I were texting today while we were at brunch. It's nice to have that, you know, neighborhood where I used to not care about that at all. And I think like in the last year, you know, like really focusing on trying to be like neighborly to people and talkative and all that kind of stuff, you know. And I'm not always, but I try to be. And what does that say? But I try to be, you know, be neighborly and talkative to people and friendly, and I'm excited about the pool opening for that because you know, then it'll give me like time to sit there and talk to people and whatever. I enjoyed that last summer. It was fun. I almost at Target today, I almost bought a case of that AHA water because it was sitting right there, but I actually don't really like that AHA water as much as I like the LaCroix. So I need to go to Target and buy some LaCroix. Well, I guess now I can just wait till we get back from Florida, but I need to buy some LaCroix, and I want to buy some Diet. I know I always say I'm not going to drink the Diet Coke anymore. I almost got a Diet Coke at the gas station tonight, and then I said to Tanya, I said, you're not going to get a Diet Coke? And she was like, no, my stomach's kind of a little queasy. So I was like, well, I should probably just get a water too. Even though she got her huge beef stick. Oh man, where am I at? What time? Well, I am almost to, I don't know how long I vlogged now. I have no idea. What time did I start? I don't remember. I do not remember what time I started. I'm trying to... Anyway, it is 11 something. I think I'm at like 35, 40 minutes, something like that. So it's almost at the 30-minute mark, because it's at 29 minutes and 7 seconds. So I'm actually going to sign off here now. I'm going to end this vlog now so that I can go listen to my audiobook for a little bit. So a little shorter vlog for you guys. So if you catch up on this one, go back and just randomly watch one from the past. Anyway, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday, an amazing start to your week. I hope you're having an amazing Monday. And I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!